It's really here. NCAA bracket day. Basically Christmas morning, but at night. We've got the NCAA brackets. Finally, we've been waiting since conferences wrapped up Sunday evening. A lot to dig into, Kozak.
Yeah.
Should we just start at the top, 125?
Let's start at the top. This is one of the best days of the year. We get to break down all the brackets. Man, it's so fun going through seeing where the seeds line up and where they don't, where the best matchups are. So yeah, let's go through from the top. 125. We got Spencer Lee, the surprise number 1 seed. Just kidding. Spencer Lee, number 1. So we're gonna look at it like a half a bracket at a time. We can say the top 4. Pat Glory, number 2. Liam Cronin, number 3. Matt Ramos, number 4. JD, anything stand out to you specifically? I know for me, the big one, we were wondering what would they do with Killian Cardinale? He forfeits out.
Yep.
He gets the 28 seed against Caleb Smith,
They hammered him.
the number 5 seed. Both of those seeds are like outside of what I thought they were going to be.
Right. Caleb Smith seeming high, Cardinale seeming low. I'm in the camp that I personally don't hate hammering someone who didn't compete at their conference tournament. I know there was even debate, should he have even gotten in?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
I'm okay with it. Although he's getting hammered, you think, man, 28 up against a 5 first round. This isn't the worst draw.
It's not. And
for
no
Killian.
Well, no disrespect to Caleb Smith, because he has beaten Liam Cronin this year, and Liam Cronin has been really good. Caleb Smith also beat Steve O'Poulin this year. Steve O'Poulin is the number 6 seed, which
Now that one
is wild also. But no,
is
listen,
surprising to me.
Caleb Smith lost to Tucker Owens, the number 33 seed this year, and also lost to Jake Ferry, the number 23 seed. So it's like, man, this spectrum of Caleb Smith's wins, it seemed like they skewed to the side of, hey, don't worry about the losses. He's got the Liam Cronin win. He's got the Steve O'Poulin win. Reward him for that. So that's fine. But it definitely stands out to me. And like you said, if you're Killian Cardinale, you're like, okay, like I don't hate it. You win it, then you're basically the 5 seed.
Yeah. And then probably DiAgostino after that for him.
Or Jory Volk is
Volk
is really good at the number 21. This quad is, man, any one of those guys can make it out of there to the quarter.
And Caleb Smith, to bring it back to him, and Steve O'Poulin are very similar to me. We have them ranked 11 and 12, and they came out 5 and 6 in the seeds. And they even split at Southern Scuffle.
Mm-hmm.
The thing Caleb Smith has is he does have the Liam Cronin win,
which
got him ahead.
That win is as good or better than anybody else in the field, other than like Spencer Lee or Pat Glory, right?
Now, I'm actually more surprised to see Steve O'Poulin at
the 6
is because, yes, he did look good at Big 12s.
Great
he won.
Yeah.
However, he beat 2 non-qualifiers, Whitcraft, who is the 31. The 31 seed, and then he beat the 14 seed. He also suffered losses in January and February, not in the beginning of the year, to the 29, 21 seeds and a non-qualifier.
Yeah, Case Mauger, right? Yeah.
Case Mauger.
Yeah.
Which I realized he eventually lost and beat him at Big 12s, but he literally just lost to him in the duel a month ago.
Yeah.
So it was just surprising to me to see him all the way up at number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Great seed for Northern Colorado there.
Yeah, and it's interesting looking at those 2 specifically, and Caleb Smith. I want to actually correct myself. He did not lose to Tucker Owens. Anthony Noto lost to Tucker Owens. Caleb Smith lost to
Noto, the 8 seed.
Yes, Caleb Smith lost to number 32 Tanner Jordan. So one 1 seed off, and also number 23, Jake Ferry. So my correction. And also, I think Caleb Smith is an All-American contender. I think he can come through here, but it's a variance from our rankings to the seed, and that's why it really stood out to me. There's another little quad if you go down to number 11, Patrick McKee. I think he's set up really good as the 11 seed, and Eddie Ventresca as the 27, Steve O'Poolin's first round opponent. Ventresca wrestles everybody tough,
right?
And so you feel like, man, that's going to be a quad where you really circle that. Patrick McKee.
Yeah, if you're circling a 27 versus 6 seed matchup first round, O'Poolin could be on upset alert, and McKee could be the beneficiary of this too, which sets McKee up with a potential Cronin rematch in the quarters. And you're looking at that going, Liam Cronin has definitely separated himself this year, but Patrick McKee always a wild card, especially at NCAAs.
Right.
Now, can he make it there, or will he lose first round?
And will he just terrorize? Will he terrorize the backside? That's
as he loves to do.
That's the question. Yeah, backside. No one's safe on the backside with Patrick McKee. The other thing that stood out to me about this bracket was the 7 and the 10. Brandon Kaler just beats Brandon Courtney.
They'll hit second round.
And they're going to hit second round. It's like, man, you'd like to see some separation there in the conferences. Obviously, that's too complicated for trying to work out all the seeds, to work out like that. But you'd like to see some separation for sure. But it'll be interesting to see how that match goes. They've split on the year. Courtney and Kaler getting the most recent. Also, Braxton Brown at the 19 against Noah Certain. That's a really good round 1 match. Winner gets Liam Cronin, and I believe Brown was beating Cronin like first period at Big Tens, and then Cronin kind of came back and won that. So that's a fun little quad there with Certain, Brown, Cronin, and even Antonio Lorenzo is only 8-8 this year, but he's had some decent little wins. But yeah, it's going to be, man, 125 has been kind of all over the place all year. And so we could definitely see that chaos continue in this bracket. Anything else, or you want to move up to 133?
Seems like the only place we could see some madness is maybe the third quarter, the Liam Cronin quarter with the Patrick McKee there. Mm-hmm. Besides that, it feels like it's going to be Glory coming in to that bottom semi, and Ramos set up pretty nicely, assuming Cardinal, is a fraction of his health.
Yeah, Provo is tough. Trombley, Peterson, those are all tough guys, but Ramos definitely good spot to make the semis. If you're Purdue, you're feeling pretty good about that.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's move up to 133, where, the Matrix, according to A1 Daniel Lobdell, actually spit out Dayton Fix over Roman Bravo Young.
The Matrix is crazy.
We're going to
see that as we go down, right?
Yep. We're sticking in weight order.
A little foreshadowing.
Yeah, RBY over Dayton Fix, though the committee stepped in, assuming Nomad's calculations were correct, to give RBY the 1. What else we got going on here? Vito the 3, McGee the 4.
Mm-hmm.
No surprises.
Kai Orini gets the 5 by beating Sam Latona and Mickey Philippi to win ACCs. But congratulations to number 5. You get All-American first round Taylor Lamont, and then second round you get number 12 Dylan Ragusin. That's a tough opening, 2 matches for Kai Orini, and that Ragusin-Orini match, that should be fireworks. Both of those guys,
for sure,
they're madmen, right? They put it on the line. They are not afraid to go big. Orini goes like standing mixer or whatever to win ACCs.
And then goes demon mode.
Yeah. So that match, man, if that goes down, that's gonna be fireworks for sure. The question mark for me down lower, number 11 seed Connor McGonigal. We saw him get hurt at EIWAs. How healthy is he? If he's not healthy,
they hammered him pretty hard because I think his record. Mm-hmm. What did they make? 12-3.
All he's lost to this year is McGee and Dayton Fix. Win over Mickey Philippi, and then he gets the 11. So
right now the injury default is factored into here. Medical forfeits are not, but injury defaults are, correct?
I don't know anything. Yeah, I'm not sure. I think you're right. Yeah.
Which is why his record is 12-3.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So Sam Latona with Connor Brown first round, and if McGonigal's not 100%, you feel good about Latona, making the quarters, where he would have either Jesse Mendez or Vito Arujau, where we've already seen Latona has been able to beat.
Yeah, Jesse, not Arujau. A great seed.
Tough.
Tough position. Tough first match, but winnable for him. And then Vito.
Yeah.
He really could have benefited by being one more removed from one of the top 3 guys.
Yeah. And so I was looking at, okay, what's his path to All-American? Say he loses to Vito. So you go up to that 8-9 quarter, I believe, or the 8-9 match. Aaron Nagao, Mickey Philippi. Winner of that match, I believe, will drop down and get Jesse Mendez. Or winner of that match, if they lose to RBY, which we believe they will, would drop down and get Mendez if he works his way back through. So we could see Mickey Philippi round of 12 3 times. We could see him against Jesse Mendez in the round of 12. Or we could see Aaron Nagao, which Aaron Nagao could, he could have another match with RBY in that quarter up there, which we saw Aaron Nagao put on a really tough ride, RBY in the Big Ten finals.
Yeah. A lot of people were talking about that and, what it means setting him up for NCAAs here. And he'll probably Philippi first round. But Philippi first round, a seed, when you go and look at records, it makes sense, but it's still surprising to see Brody Teske at the 24.
Yeah.
Not doing the Hawks any favors here, but what's his best win this year? Taylor Lamont?
Probably.
Yeah, he kind of got hurt by not wrestling a full schedule. Wasn't able to rack up some of those kind of signature wins.
Yeah, going, and then, so another thing that stands out is you go down to the 7 and the 10, Kolioko, Lucas Bird returning All-American. Kolioko has a win over Bird on the year. Winner of that gets Dayton Fix. So, man, if you're the 7 or 10 there, you really feel like you need to win that to set yourself up to All-American. But Dayton Fix looks like he should be able to cruise to the semis. Match with Kolioko, match with Bird. It's interesting. And then Fix will likely have Vito or Latona, most likely. Unless someone like Jesse Mendez or Jason Shaner can pull a big upset. But yeah, 133, like second round, if you go through all these matchups, kind of feel like they should be quarters. Like all these matchups really are really pretty fun.
Biscaglia kind of got blessed getting the 16, but then you see that means he has RBY second round, which is unfortunate. But I mean, Biscaglia, he just lost. He does have wins over Cannon
and Ragusin, right?
And Ragusin at CKLV. So, they're 12 and 13. So 16, not crazy. However, since those, he lost to 28 Taylor Lamont and 25 Wyatt Henson. Before, earlier in the season, he lost to the 22 seed Chance Rich and Iowa State backup Evan Frost. So I was surprised to see that he got the 16.
Yeah.
It felt a little high, but for your reward is a tough first round match and then RBY.
Yeah. So some good, some bad there for him. All right, you want to move up to 141?
141. They went Woods 1, Alirez 2.
We have it flipped around in the rankings, but I think that was kind
Cole
of
Matthews.
Consensus 1-2.
Yeah, well, we also incorporated the Cole Matthews win for Alirez, which is not...
It's not allowed.
It is not allowed here in the NCAA seeding. That Alirez-Matthews rematch will go down in the semis as Matthews got the 3, Hardy getting the 4.
Yeah. Yeah, Hardy the 4, and then Ryan Jack the 5, which Hardy and Jack have gone back and forth this year.
Mm-hmm.
Hardy winning the most recent. So that feels like it could be, the round 3. But Brock Hardy, Jordan Titus, round 1, who has beaten Cole Matthews this year. So that's interesting, to look at. And then, man, the 9, the 24, and the 8, all Big 12 guys. We got Alan Hart as the 8, Moshe Schwartz, Casey Swiderski, round 1 as the 9 and the 24, and then Carmen Ferrante as Alan Hart.
Yeah.
That little quad there is really interesting. It'll be interesting to see. Moshe Schwartz didn't finish out the Big 12s. How healthy is he? Casey Swiderski, kind of this roller coaster season. What's he going to look like at his first NCAAs? And then Alan Hart has been.
And that stinks for those Big 12 guys. Schwartz and Swiderski. It's not as bad for Hart, but you get Big 12. You're getting Big 12 again.
Yeah.
Just to think, if Aliris would have gotten the 1, they'd go Big 12 again.
Big 12. Yeah, that's true. I didn't think about that. Down at the bottom of the bracket, Cole Matt and Lachlan McNeil, 23 and 10. That's a round 1 matchup. Matten actually has a win over Lachlan this year. I think it was from November or December, but that's interesting. And then Vince Cornella wins EIWAs. He would likely have, Lachlan in that second round matchup, higher seeded guy, but he lost to McNeil. So it's kind of like they're seeded the opposite way than the actual head-to-head results have gone. So it's interesting. You kind of circle that. You think it'll be Lachlan and Cornella, but you never know. Matten could throw a wrench into this.
Carter Young got a pretty nice seed for injury defaulting out of Big 12s, and I think he was pretty hurt. I don't think we're going to see a fully healthy Carter Young at Big 12s.
Yeah, and if he's if he's not healthy, then it's like Berglund. He's got that. He had a great NCAAs last year. Could he make some noise against Brock Hardy second round? They certainly, some familiarity there. That's interesting. Phileas, Ryan Jack, second round too.
Don't look now, but Ryan Jack to the semis.
Yeah.
Like we've said, I mean, his run to the quarters is pretty nice for him. And then, like we said, he's split with Hardy.
Yeah. Yeah, and Cleveland Belton, Parker Phileas, I didn't look into this. I'm pretty sure Belton does he have a win over Phileas this year? He might have a win over either Phileas or Tel Shahar. Yeah, Belton beat Phileas this year. So he could throw a wrench into this bracket as well. But it feels like, this is Real Woods, Andrew Aliris, but man, if you're Real Woods, you got to beat Brock Hardy one more time in the semis. It's a tough matchup, right?
Also, don't write off Cole Matthews.
I won't.
I feel like a lot of people have. He lost a very narrow match to Aliris at All-Star. Wasn't it overtime?
I think so. Yeah, I think you're right. It was either overtime or late third period.
Then, yes, he did take the Jordan Titus loss. I understand that, but I feel like people are putting too much stock into that Jordan Titus loss. I mean, a lot of guys lose matches. Shoot, look at Max Dean.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people are picking him, and that man has lost 3 times this season. And Cole Matthews, I don't know. I'm just saying don't write him off. I'm not going to pick it. Aliris has looked outstanding this year, including beating Cole Matthews. But I think people are just maybe disregarding Cole Matthews.
Yeah, good point. Put some respect on his name.
Yeah, put some respect.
We don't need to go too much into the...
Is Cale Happel the highest at-large seed at 14?
Oh, well, we'll find out. But that's... I think so. I think so.
It's crazy. He got knocked out by Casey Swiderski of Big 12s, who got the 24.
We have Doug Zaff, number 12. Let's go up to 149. Let's go up to 149. We're already talking about it.
That's all. I was just setting you up for the transition,
yeah,
Kozak.
Beautiful transition. 149. So we actually have 2 high at-large seeds here. Number 12, Doug Zapp, and number 15, Austin Gomez. But we'll talk about the top 4 seeds first. Yanni Dacamahalis, number 1. Sammy Sasso, number 2. Kyle Parco, number 3. And freshman Caleb Henson, number 4, Paniro Johnson, number 5. JD, what are your thoughts on 149 here? Anything
Sign
big?
me up for that Paniro Henson quarter.
Yeah.
Winner gets Yanni. And we were talking about it this morning on FRL, and Ben and CP both agreed Paniro Johnson might be the guy with the best chance in this bracket to beat Yanni.
Yeah.
If anybody's going to do it.
He took him to overtime. We saw that. He was in on a leg.
Nobody's going to pick it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're just talking percentages, it seems like he's got the percentage.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Style-wise and what we saw in their matchup in December, it seems like that's the one that would be a little bit spooky, right?
And if Big 12's Paniro is looking real good.
Mm-hmm.
He's had some up and down performances this season, but that's to be expected from a freshman.
Yeah.
But if he turns it on like he did at Big 12's, it's dangerous.
Yeah.
You don't like that. You don't, you're not feeling confident. Hokie fans aren't feeling confident about Henson making it to the semis.
Yeah.
Against Yanni.
Though within that quarter, there's like 3, David was saying this earlier, there's like 3 really like high-profile freshmen where you have Paniro Johnson, Shane Van Ness, Caleb Henson. You feel like one of those guys is going to make it out, probably either Henson or Paniro. Johnny Levitt's tough against Shane Van Ness. They've wrestled already like 2 or 3 times this year.
Mm-hmm.
Doug Zapp, that's a good test for Paniro
Number
as well.
1 seed at AWAs.
Yeah, number 1 seed. And even, Jared Verclaren, say what you want about how long he's been wrestling for. He's a veteran, kind of stingy against Paniro first round. It'll be a fun one for sure.
When you think about sleepers, dark horses, I don't think Paniro and Caleb Henson and Shane Van Ness fall into that category. Maybe Van Ness, but freshmen are usually guys you tend to lean on for those because you have kind of less data on them and they are more poised probably to turn it up and make a run and kind of hit their stride at NCAAs, whereas a guy like Verclaren, who's like, well, we've seen him go through a season.
We know who he is.
And NCAAs and go through an NCAA tournament multiple times too. It seems less likely that they're gonna do something crazy and shock the country.
Yeah, and that's a great point. Another thing I wanted to talk about was Max Murin at the 8 seed. He has Ryan Burgos from Edinburgh right off the bat, but then John Milner, the 9 seed.
Kind of put it on him last year, didn't he?
Put it on 8-1. Milner is probably the tallest 149-pounder in the country. He is so hard to score on, really tough on top. Like you said, he owned him at NCAAs last year. If you're a Hawkeye fan, that is not the 9 seed you want. Milner is a dangerous guy. Milner's a guy, I think he was ranked as high as 3rd or 4th this year. He's a tough veteran, and if they wrestle 10 times, I'm probably picking Milner. I don't know, 7 or 8.
Yeah.
So, Hawkeye fans, kind of another tough draw there. We mentioned it with Teskey. We see it again here with Max Murin. He can certainly do it. Kind of want to see him, All-American breakthrough for the first time. But he's got his work cut out for him. Another one I'm looking at down at the 6 and the 11. Michael Block is so impressive at the Big Ten tournament against Brock Mahler, the 6 seed. Also, Nate Higley, man, he's a pinning machine. He had a really good performance at his conference tournament as well. He'll be a fun guy to watch on the big stage. But yeah, that 6 and 11 will be fun. Kellen March at the 14 against Mitch Moore, the 19. A lot of fun matchups at 149. And then Austin Gomez, Quint Kinner, winner gets Sammy Sasso.
Right, Austin Gomez thrown a huge wrench into things by getting injured and then disqualified out of the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah.
Here, the 17-16, Jackson Arrington, Colin Riobudo might be one of, if not my favorite, first-round match. These two wrestled a really fun 5-4 match, I believe, at Collegiate Duels. Riobudo won that one 5-4. but that's probably why he's the 16.
Yeah.
One ahead of him. So
49 is going to be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. All right, 57, Austin O'Connor with the 1 seed, undefeated on the year. Levi Haynes, Big Ten champ, the 2. Peyton Robb, Big Ten runner-up, the 3. Jared Franick, the 4. And then Josh Humphreys, undefeated, but the 5 seed. You agree with those?
Yeah, I think that's the way you do it. Humphreys is the one that really has an argument. Being undefeated on the year, beat Peyton Robb at
last year, right?
NCAA's last year. Now, that doesn't come into effect.
It's not part of the matrix.
It's not part of the matrix, but it does affect coaches' rank and rankings, because if you beat a guy at NCAA's, you are likely to come ahead of him in the beginning of the rankings.
Yeah.
You know? And what he didn't wrestle much in January. Didn't really get too many good wins. His best win was Ed Scott, which is a pretty good win. But he didn't beat anybody in that top 5. Like how Levi beat Peyton Robb at Big Tens. Now, what he does have is Levi Haynes dropped one to
Vinny
Zerban, the 32 seed.
Yeah.
Here in this bracket early in the season. And Humphreys didn't wrestle in every duel, but he did wrestle in the Penn State duel this year. And Bear Claw wrestled, not Haynes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. And, I guess at least they're consistent. We talked about, Caleb Smith and Steve O'Poolin dropping their matches to, lower ranked or lower seeded guys. Levi Haynes, the 32, they've really leaned heavily on his wins and his recent wins. So at least they're consistent, right? But also with Josh Humphreys, Paddy Gallagher round 1. Gallagher can be tough. He wrestled Peyton Robb really tough this year.
Feels like Paddy's kind of turning it on at the right time.
Yeah, and then if Humphreys gets by Paddy, Kendall Coleman round 2. Kendall Coleman ranked as high as number 2 or 3 in the country this year. Didn't have the best Big Tens, but dropped tight matches, close matches. I believe to Levi Haynes, beat Will Luan. So I mean, if you're Humphreys, you're kind of feeling like, man, I'm undefeated this year, and this is the draw I get. Not the best one in the world, but
Lehigh
157.
Lehigh fans, probably not going to be happy about this.
Yeah, Daniel Cardenas, number 6. He kind of was sneaky this year because we didn't know if they were gonna.
It's between him and Derek Cott.
Yeah,
they split a lot of time.
He has 1 loss on the year. Who did he lose to? Did he lose to JQs?
He lost to JQs, who had to get Nat Large. And I was really surprised because his best win is
G-Feller,
who's the 10. So I don't know how he jumped up to 6, probably because his high win percentage and he won his conference.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of those where, man, it doesn't feel right. I think they're leaning really heavy on that win percentage. In this case, where didn't wrestle a full schedule, and
I mean, he's ahead of Bryce Andonian. I get it. Bryce Andonian is 8-2.
Yeah,
but
speaking of Bryce Andonian, if seeds play out, Levi Haynes, Bryce Andonian quarterfinal, and Levi Haynes has been phenomenal this year, right? But if there's one guy that kind of scares you, I think Bryce Andonian is like, man, he could be that guy and take out someone like Levi Haynes.
Don't forget, Kobe put he planted Levi real hard.
Yeah.
Remember, Levi was able to, I think did he roll out of that and not give up the takedown?
Yeah.
When Kobe planted him super hard, but
Didn't
Kobe went feet to back on him.
Yeah, I am so fascinated. And, I say Levi Haynes could be so dangerous, but also he can be reckless. And so someone like Levi Haynes,
Bryce
maybe
Andonian
he's savvy enough.
G-Fell around too as well.
Yeah, that's going to be wild.
Yeah. Any Bryce Andonian match is fun. But, yeah, Daniel Cardenas really benefiting from having the 6, too. And with Chase Soldate at the 11, that's a winnable match.
For Soldate and Cardenas, you look at both of those guys, you say, all right, here's here's your path at the quarterfinal, as opposed to some of these other top 6, top 7 guys and some of the guys deeper in the field. Man, you feel like if you're both of those guys, Saldate or Cardenas, you feel pretty good about where you're at.
Yeah. Willowan the 9.
Willowan.
Who beat, I know it doesn't count, but he beat
Andonian in All-Star, yeah.
At the All-Star, and he's behind Cardenas.
Yeah, how many overtime matches is Willowan going to wrestle this weekend or next weekend? That's the question. Tommy Askey's tough.
I would set the over-under either 2.5 or 3.5.
Yeah.
So it feels like 3 is the right answer. I might go over.
Yeah. Ed Scott, Willowan, they started wrestling a match at CKLV. Ed Scott got up big, and then Willowan injury defaulted.
That's right.
So that's probably why they're the 8 and the 9. All right, 165. You want to go there? 165. Number 1 seed David Carr. Number 2 seed Keegan O'Toole. 3 Dean Hamady. 4 Julian Ramirez. 5 Quincy Monday. 6 Kennedy.
So we thought we might see some shenanigans here in the Matrix, possibly spitting out Keegan at the 3 or even the 4. If that was the case, the seating committee intervened and made Keegan the 2, rightfully so. So we're not going to get the Carr O'Toole number 3 until Saturday night.
Yeah.
If it happens, assuming they both make the finals. Yeah,
there's a couple really interesting second round matchups here. And then even obviously the quarterfinals are going to just be probably maybe of any weight in the country. These are the best quarterfinals. You look up and down, they're going to be just phenomenal. But the top one, Matt Olguin has beaten Shane Griffith 2 weeks in a row. What do they give them? The 8 and the 9 seed. They are probably going to meet second round at NCAAs. Winner gets David Carr. That means we could see NCAA champ versus NCAA champ in the quarters if Shane Griffith can beat Matt Olguin for the first time.
They were both close matches. So if you're Shane Griffith, maybe you're feeling okay. You're feeling like, damn, this guy again, he just beat me. But it's hard to beat a guy 3 times in a row, especially that close and of this caliber. It's kind of like the David Carr Keegan O'Toole thing, where a lot of people might still be picking Keegan O'Toole because they're like, well, he narrowed the gap, he's really good, he can make adjustments, and it's hard to beat an NCAA champion like Keegan O'Toole 3 times in a row in such a short time span.
Yeah.
So, but if you're Olguin, you're like, I just beat this guy 2 times in a row, let's go.
Right, and that's got to be what Oregon State coaches are telling them, all right, you can do it. You did it 2 times, you can do it again, and just build on that confidence. But if you're David Carr and you're looking at it, it's like, man, Shane Griffith, I should not have to wrestle this guy in the quarterfinals if he does get there.
Facundo Ramirez, round 2.
Facundo Ramirez, round 2. Winner
Monday
likely gets Quincy Monday, which again we've already seen Ramirez versus Monday 2 times, where Ramirez has won both of them. What do you think? Do you like that matchup if you're Penn State against Julian Ramirez? I mean, it's about as equal as any other.
I don't think you do.
Yeah.
Facundo, Ramirez, kind of a bit of a wild card, funky wrestler. Facundo going to try and slow him down, but I think if they get into a bunch of scrambles, that kind of favors Ramirez. That's what we've seen with the Monday match. Monday, a little more reliant on his double from the outside. Facundo, more ducks and high crotches. But it seems like if Ramirez can get Facundo to mix it up, that kind of favors him.
Yeah. And Ramirez has proven he has the offensive ability to score on guys who are stingy in their defense, and that's what Facundo is. Whereas if you get ahead of Facundo, it's kind of hard for him to.
If you make it a one exchange match, Facundo can win that.
Yeah, and I don't think Ramirez is going to do that.
I do not see that happening either.
Yeah.
Now, but looking down, how you feeling about a second round Kennedy Amin match?
Yeah. Again, we just saw it at Big Tens, and I don't know how healthy Cam Amin is. His offense looked really limited. But if you're Pat Kennedy, I don't know if you love that second round. Yeah, he just wrestled a really close match. You saw last year Cam Amin flip the script on Alex Marinelli, beat him to get to the semis. So that's tough. And then if Kennedy does win, then he gets Hamity in the quarters, which we just saw that match at the Big Ten Finals. And Hamity would have to get by Peyton Hall or Braunagel.
Yeah, the Braunagel Hall have a brutal draw.
Braunagel beat Hall this year. Hall and Hamity wrestled an insane match at NCAAs last year. So yeah, this shows you what 165 is.
Yeah, I was about to say this guy can't catch break. This guy can't catch break. This guy can't catch break. Looking at all their draws, but really it's just the state of this weight. Anybody who makes it out of the first round.
Yeah.
There's no easy matches after that. Because I was just gonna Hartla's draw.
Caliendo Hartla, yeah.
Exactly, Caliendo, second round. If you step up, win that match, congrats. You get Keegan O'Toole.
Which Keegan
in the quarters, not the semis, in the quarters.
Keegan and Carson wrestled in the quarters last year, and that's where
Tom
we saw.
Ryan remembers.
That's where we saw the no reversal call, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, man, if you're Keegan again, you got All-American Wyatt Sheets first round, whereas last year, what did he have? Anthony Valencia early, and then Carson, and so yeah, this weight is so awesome. It's just so good. Again, round of 16 on. It's going to be so fun. Quarterfinals, best quarterfinals. Don't miss one of those. It's going to be so good. All right.
Shout out to producer Tyler's favorite wrestler, Caleb Fish.
Shout out.
Just because he likes his name. Ramirez, first round. Not going to be easy.
All right. 174. No doubt. Carter Starachi, number 1 seed. Mikey Labriola, number 2. Micaiah Lewis, 3. Chris Foca, 4. Dustin Plott, 5. Ethan Smith, 6. That's as far as I'll go.
Yeah, this 174 not quite as deep as 165, but still, a lot of...
There's some fun matchups here.
Fun matchups. Nelson Brands getting the 11 for Iowa. Will likely have Ethan Smith second round.
Yeah.
They didn't wrestle this year, right? I don't believe, but that's a winnable match for either guy.
Mm-hmm.
You're not feeling super confident in that if you're a Buckeye fan.
Yeah, Ethan Smith, he's been a guy who's been very good, but definitely not perfect. I mean, he's lost to number 21 seed Lennox Wolak this year, which he's a guy who can bust up a bracket. But yeah, if you're Nelson Brands, you're like, okay, get by Faison, who we saw he had an overtime match with Micaiah Lewis, and then you feel like you could make a run at least to the quarters. But yeah, it's not gonna be easy for him by any stretch. Number 5, Dustin Plott. This is interesting. Dustin Plott won Big 12s, has a loss to number 12, Mateo Almos on the year. Would get him second round.
Yeah, I thought Plott, he took another loss there too, right? In February, I want to say.
Yep.
It felt like he was almost kind of trending downwards. And
he
then
lost,
obviously,
Cade DeVos.
Yeah, he lost to DeVos, and then obviously picked it back up at Big 12s, and good for him because it set him up a lot nicer. At the 5, you said he's lost to Almost, but that's definitely a winnable match for him. And then Foca in the quarters, and that's the quarterfinal I think you want.
Yeah.
If you're Dustin Plott.
Oh, for sure.
Much more than,
Micaiah Lewis,
yeah, or
Labriola, Starachi, for sure. All right, JD. We said 174 is not as deep, but there is some heat here because we could see Donnell Washington, Carter Starachi, round 2, and we know there's some
round 3.
Right with round 3, but in the second round of the NCAA tournament, and there's no lost love there, right? Those guys,
they exchanged words after the end of last match.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
I gotta imagine Starachi kind of got that out of the way in the duel, and assuming Starachi wins again, you can't talk too much smack.
Yeah,
if you're DJ.
Yeah. Yeah, and don't put it, don't look past Sam Wolf because Sam Wolf for Air Force, man. He's
sneaky good here.
He's sneaky good, 13-3. He could very well be the guy wrestling Starachi in the second round.
Did Ruth and O'Reilly wrestle this year?
I believe O'Reilly is 2-0 against Ruth.
Okay.
Let me fact check myself because I've been wrong already on this show. So O'Reilly is 2-0.
Yeah, it's a tough second round match there for Ed Ruth too.
Yeah. Yeah, 6-4 and 4-2. Bailey O'Reilly has beaten Edmund Ruth. So, yeah, not the best. Not the best for Edmund.
Don't look now. Kyle Valencia turned it on a little bit at the end of the year.
Yeah.
I know he's just 12-10, the 29 seed, but if you're looking for somebody who could pull off an upset, this is like what we were saying, what I was saying earlier, in that maybe you lean on freshmen for your dark horses or your sleeper picks. Kyle Valencia could snipe somebody here, seated higher for sure.
Yeah, he certainly could. And that's where it's like we saw at the beginning of the year, he was struggling, not having a good season at all, and then kind of comes on at the end of the year. So it's like, man, where is he? Who is this guy? Is he a 29 seed or is he more of like a top 15-ish type guy? But Chris Foca the favorite there for sure. But Kyle Valencia could mix some things up.
All right, this is the weight that's gonna get a lot of people talking.
Yeah,
184.
Yeah,
Parker Ketgeisen, the one. That's right. Not Aaron Brooks.
Not Aaron Brooks.
Number 2?
Is it Aaron Brooks?
Not Aaron Brooks. Trent Hidley. Aaron
Number
Brooks.
3?
The 3.
Okay.
I said it this morning on FRL. Do not be surprised if this happens.
Yeah.
Remember, they don't take into account the All-Star where Brooks beat Parker. So, Aaron Brooks' best win on the year, Caleb Romero, who is the 6th seed.
Yeah.
And of these top 3 guys, top 4, Trey Munoz, he has the worst loss to Marcus Coleman, who Trey Munoz actually beat at the same event.
The same event, yeah. Yeah, and I think more than that, if you look at Aaron Brooks' record, he's only got 13 matches this year.
Yeah, he didn't do himself any favors.
Had he wrestled 20, 25 matches, then okay, maybe we see him at the 1, but doesn't have that.
I don't know. Even then, the Big Ten just isn't super deep. At this weight. So I guess if I think they would have gone to like a CKLV where he could have seen Parker and Trent.
Yeah. Penn State only wrestled the one tournament, Black Knight, and only half of their starters wrestled there, and Aaron Brooks wasn't one of them.
So you're furious if you're an NC State fan.
Yeah.
Because that now puts Aaron Brooks on your side. You're thrilled if you're a Panther fan because that means Parker now has to beat the winner of Marcus Coleman, Trey Munoz, who he's beaten Coleman 4 times in his career now, 3 or 4, something like that. Coleman hasn't been able to solve that puzzle. I don't think he's ever wrestled Munoz, but would obviously be a heavy favorite there.
Yeah, and you say Trey Munoz, and I say not so fast. Lenny Pinto, Trey Munoz.
True. Fun second round matchup. Pinto beat Munoz at CKLV. And so, man, if you're in Nebraska, you're like, okay, we'll take the 13 seed with Trey Munoz right there. We know we can beat him. And, man, we saw Lenny Pinto at Big Tens almost beat Caleb Romero. He's right there. And like you're saying about freshmen, I think he was hurt most of last year. And so this is really like his first full year of college wrestling. And so Lenny Pinto. You would probably maybe rather have the 5 if you're at this weight.
Yeah, with Assad.
You have Abe Assad second round instead of Pinto.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. 100%.
Also, no offense to Buffalo, but how the hell did Giuseppe Hoos get the 21 seed?
Yeah, he's had an up and down year for sure. What did he do at the Max? He didn't win it. Medical forfeits out. Loses to Colin Fegley, and Man, has losses on the year to Zane Lehman, who's the number 31 seed.
So he lost to somebody who did not qualify at his
conference tournament.
At his conference tournament.
Yeah.
And now he's the 21 seed.
Yeah.
And what's his best win?
Maybe Jacob Ferreira. He's beaten him. Lost to Reese Heller.
D'Anthony Parker?
Yeah, maybe D'Anthony Parker. Jacob Nolan.
D'Anthony Parker, the 29 seed?
Yeah, Jacob Ferreira, the number 28 seed. He's beaten him a couple times, too. Yeah, Dylan Connell. He beat Dylan Connell. So that's what they're basing it off of.
All right.
Maybe. But yeah, like you said, lost to somebody at your conference tournament that didn't qualify. That's an interesting one. I think with the wins he has on the year, deserve to get in, but maybe not at the 21 seed. Yeah, I don't know. Hunter Bolin at the 7 is interesting. Hunter Bolin, Travis Whitlake, potential round 2. Winner gets Trent Hidley. We've seen Bolin and Hidley have these matches where, man, they are back and forth. This year, Bolin looked like he was going to beat Hidley, and like Hidley had to pull it out kind of last minute. And so, man, like you said, if you're an NC State fan, you're like, what the heck, man? This is not right. But we know Trent Hidley's that dude, and we've seen him wrestle Aaron Brooks really tough both of the last 2 NCAA tournaments. Yeah, we'll see it most likely semifinals. You ready for 197?
197, the weight of
our favorite
chaos.
Weight. Our favorite weight.
Max Dean got the 9. They actually kind of followed what we did in the rankings. Nino 1, Bernie Truex 2.
Rocky Elam 3.
Rocky Elam 3. Ethan Laird 4.
Michael Beard 5.
Yeah, I mean Isaac Trumbull 6.
You
can just keep going and going. This weight.
This weight is, yeah. Owen Pence 16.
Right.
Yeah.
He loves sniping people.
He loves it.
Bastida getting the 13. Rematch with Bachman, round 1. Bachman who beat him
at Big 12s.
At Big 12s. But there's a reason Bachman seeded 20. You got to favor Bastida. Probably still the favorite in that match, but shoot, yeah. If you're Bachman, you're like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, and you look at that quad, man, you just don't know. Like, Ethan Laird has been great. Trey Rogers has been good this year. Evan Bachman, Younger Bastida, like, okay, like, what's gonna happen here? We don't know. It's gonna be so awesome to watch play out. You favor Laird just because of like consistency to a certain degree, but with the Owen Pence loss, it's kind of like puts that question in your head, like, is he really that guy? We'll see.
Or was he that guy for one match?
Right.
And then had a maybe lesser max schedule.
Yeah.
Don't look now. If Younger Bastida can get his head right, favor him against Bachman. Winnable match against Laird. Laird's never seen him. Michael Beard, same kind of ordeal as Laird. Like, you're definitely favoring Beard, but you could see him win that match. And then Nino in the semis, and he really should have won that match, and then gave up a late 2-2 right before the buzzer to lose.
Yeah.
Younger Bastida to the finals.
Hey, is Andy Smith the best 21 seed? Because he's beaten Isaac Trumbull this year.
He beat somebody else.
He
really
beat Tanner
good.
Sloan this year.
Yeah, Tanner Sloan.
Tanner Sloan, number 7 seed. Isaac Trumbull, number 16 seed. And Andy Smith has beaten them both. And he's the 21. Zach Braunagel, round 1. Michael Beard, potential round 2. Watch out for Andy Smith. He could blow up this bracket. But I think what jumped out to me most when I first saw this, Max Dean, the 9. Silas Allred, the 8. Rematch of the Big Ten Finals, round 2. Can Max Dean make a run to the finals again with this draw?
Man, going through Allred, then probably Nino, then either Beard, Laird, Bastida, and then Elam, Truax.
Can he do it again?
I think he was going to be my pick before I saw this bracket.
Yeah.
He might not be my pick anymore.
Okay.
That's a tough draw. Tough draw. Probably the worst position in the bracket, no?
I mean, if you're a Penn State fan and you're looking at what Silas Allred, how he just beat Max Dean, 3 takedowns to none. I mean, you're not loving that draw at all. Now, the flip side of it is, what has Penn State been so good at doing over the last?
Right.
You flip their Big Ten result at NCAAs. That's what they've been doing. So it's like you kind of lean on that. You say, okay, he can do it. I'm looking up Max Dean.
Bernie set up nice.
Bernie with it too is interesting. All right, Max Dean as a freshman was the number 9 seed. So
he got Chip Ness that year.
He got Chip Nest. He still,
I think, wasn't that on the backside?
Did he get Chip Nest on the backside?
What year was this?
This is 2018. Max Dean made the quarters, lost to Bo Nickel. No, he got Venzed. He's still All-American. Oh, no, he did get Chip Nest in the 7th-8th place match. So you're right. Good memory.
Chip hit him with the Ripper.
Yeah, this is Max's lowest, tied for his lowest seed of his college career.
Wow.
Yeah, he had the 9, 5, 1, 9. So we'll see what he can do. Man, it's so interesting looking at his path. You almost can't believe it's going to be that rematch again, round 2.
Sloan, terrible draw.
You think so?
Gavin Hoffman, first round. He's the favorite, but don't get me wrong. Gavin Hoffman might be the best 26 seed.
26 seed, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this man All-American.
He was 21 seed, I think, last year. 20.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool, you win that one, you get Jacob Cardenas, who just beat Michael Beard. Yeah, in the finals. You win that one? Great, you get Bernie Truax.
Yeah.
You win that one? Cool, you get Rocky Elam.
Yeah.
You win that one? Sweet, you get whoever the hell is coming out of the top side.
Keep going. You win that one?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, it's... Yeah, I guess you could look at that 2 ways. How do you feel against Gavin Hoffman? Tanner Sloan, man, he's so tough on top. If he gets on top, Gavin Hoffman, Jacob Cardenas, maybe he just, the match is over. But yeah, great point from Tanner Sloan, who's had a great season. Yeah, wow, man, 197. It's just, I don't know what to think about these seeds. Jackson Smith, Mikhail Foy, round 1 is really interesting. We've seen Foy beat Jacob Horner this year. Winner of that match gets Isaac Trumbull. So you look at Isaac Trumbull, could he make a run to the finals? He's beaten Rocky Elam in his career. Did we talk about Jacob Horner's draw at all yet?
No.
Again for the Iowa Hawkeyes, it's tough. Cam Caffey round 1, Rocky Elam round 2.
Iowa as a whole did not...
kind of tough draws.
Yeah, they got some tough draws.
Yeah. For sure. Man, if you're looking at the start of the season, you say, okay, Rocky Elam, he can make the NCAA finals. Jacob Horner, he can make the NCAA finals. If they meet at the NCAA tournament, it's probably semifinal match, right? Or maybe a quarter. Round 2. Oh man, I love it.
That's 197.
I love it.
I go back and forth between seeds matter more and less at this weight.
It's a draw. It's like who you match up with, right?
Right. Because it's like, but I think they matter less because there are so many guys at this weight capable of beating one another. To where it's like, I don't know. Just give the top 8 whatever.
Yeah. Separate them in the first round, and then second round, it's just all hell's gonna break loose.
Because it's like, yeah, Nino got the 1. Cool, congrats. You get Pence second round, who loves to knock off big dogs. You get that one, sweet. Maybe you get returning champ at the weight you did an All-American, Max Dean, or the guy who just beat him in the Big Ten Finals. You win that one, sweet. You get Michael Beard or Younger or Ethan Laird.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Any way you put it, it's not great. And I actually think I would maybe rather have like a Rocky draw or a Bernie Truax draw than a Nino draw.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, 100%. Absolutely. It's so interesting. I love it. I love it so much. All right. Heavyweight. Big dogs. Mason Paris, number 1.
Wyatt over Kirkfleet.
Wyatt Hendrickson, number 2. Greg Kirkfleet, number 3. Tony Cassiope, number 4. Colton Schultz, number 5. Yaroslav Slavakuski, number 6. Are you surprised by that?
Yes, we like Big Slav.
We're huge Slav supporters.
But I don't know how they did this.
Who did he lose to at EIWAs?
He lost to Nathan Taylor, who is the 21 seed.
Congratulations, Nathan Taylor. You're the 21 seed. You beat the number 6 seed.
Right.
And Grady Grease, who won EIWAs, where's he at?
He is 15.
Yeah. What in the world? Oh, what world are we living in here? I believe Slav got the 6 because he beat Owen Treffin this year.
Who is 7.
Who is the 7 seed.
But that is his highest win. Besides that, you have to go to number 14 seed AJ Neville's is his next best win.
It just doesn't feel right.
He also lost to another erroneous seed, in my opinion, the 12 seed, Colton McKiernan from SIUE. I don't understand how this man got the 12. He did win MAC.
Turn of the MAC.
He is 27-3 on the year, a great record, but we have him ranked 21st because he just doesn't have the wins. He beat Big Slav, and he's only lost to Luke Davison, Colton Schultz, and he lost to Seth Nitzel of Missouri this year,
who's not in this field.
Correct, because he's not a starter.
Yeah, he lost to who the number 10 seed's backup.
Yeah, but that one I can at least.
He's got a great record.
Yes.
That's what it comes down to.
Great record. He won his conference. That makes sense. Big Slav, decent record, did not win his conference.
So yeah,
not that many great wins.
And so that's the thing. If you're going to reward big wins, Colton McKiernan, reward him. You know, put him all the way up to number 6 with Slav.
That's what I'm saying.
Doesn't make sense. All right, Sam Schuyler, great year, right? He's looked great. Looks like he's gotten a lot better. You get the number 8 seed at NCAAs. Hold on, who's the number 9 seed? Returning All-American.
Yeah.
Lucas Davison, who was ranked number 4 in the country going into Big Tens.
Have those two ever wrestled?
You'd have to look. You'd have to check.
I don't think they have.
Yeah, but that's, man, if you're Schuyler.
Oh, no. They wrestled last year at NCAAs.
And who won?
I did not remember that. Lucas Davison, 4-0.
Yeah. You feel like that match is going to be really close. So, maybe that's what you expect if you're Schuyler, but it's just, it is because Lucas Davison lost to Trent Hilger at Big Tens. You feel like he would have been up higher in that top 6-ish realm had he not taken that loss. But he did, and so that's where we're at. Tony Cassiope as the 4 with Colton Schultz as the 5. Winner gets Mason Paris. We saw Cassiope Really close match with Paris this year. We saw Colton Schultz last year at NCAAs beat Mason Paris. What do you think about that? What do you think about that quarter leading into the semi with Paris?
I mean, we haven't. I'm not sure on the Schultz Cassiope quarter, but it feels like Mason healthy this year, different guy. Pencil him into the finals. Schultz just hasn't been the same this year, like we saw last year where he made a run to the NCAA finals. And I'm more excited about the bottom semi, Kirk Fleet, Hendrickson.
Yeah. We didn't see that last year, did we?
No, and it feels like you can pretty well pencil both those guys in to the semi. And I don't know. Give him the American Hero a shot.
You give him a chance?
I'm giving him a chance.
You saying there's a chance?
I'm saying there's a strong chance.
Yeah. Yeah, Wyatt Hendrickson has been so good this year. Only loss to Mason Paris. Also, Kirk Fleet's only losses. And that loss, I mean, it was competitive, wasn't it? 6-4 type match?
Yeah, something like that.
Which is really similar to what Mason Paris, how he beat Kirk Fleet. And so, yeah, you feel like that's the right semi to see there. I'm excited about that one for sure.
Yeah. Well, Kozak, I think we did it.
I think so. I think we did it.
That'll wrap it up for us.
That'll wrap it up. We got so much content on the site breaking down all the brackets. You can look at them. You can dive into them yourself. And then we also have breakdowns for Iowa, for Penn State. Spade's putting together some stats. I'm looking at who won and who lost the draws. JD, you're looking at seeds.
Most surprising seeds.
So, yeah. Man, this is like one of the best times of the year leading up to the NCAA tournament.
Now we wait
for the wrestling to happen.
Yep. It's going to be fun. We'll talk a lot more about it tomorrow morning on FRL. See y'all there.